Looking at the geopolitical landscape of the 13th century, the eventual outcome seems obvious. On one side, you have massive agrarian empires with huge populations, professional standing armies, and sophisticated stone fortifications. On the other, scattered across the Eurasian steppe, are fragmented tribes of nomadic herders. Historically, the resources were almost entirely on the side of the cities. This chart visualizes the mismatch. When we look at population estimates, agrarian empires dominate the graph. The scale of the Song dynasty or the Khwarezmian Empire meant they could field hundreds of thousands of soldiers. By comparison, the total nomadic population barely registers. A common explanation for what followed is that an overwhelming, chaotic tide of barbarians simply swarmed civilization, winning through sheer numbers and brutality. But the data contradicts this. During almost every major campaign they fought, the Mongol armies were significantly outnumbered. They were forced to win without the benefit of a larger population. Genghis Khan overcame this deficit by dismantling centuries of tribal tradition. He replaced local loyalties with a highly disciplined, organized logistical machine designed to maximize every available resource. Organizing a continental empire required raw materials adapted to the environment. For the Mongols, the entire system rested on the specific traits of the steppe horse and the composite bow. The Mongol horse was built for endurance rather than speed. These animals were short, sturdy, and capable of sustaining themselves in extreme conditions. While other war horses required massive grain shipments to stay active, the Mongol horse survived on sparse, frozen scrub grass, allowing the army to move without dragging heavy supply lines behind them. To match this mobility, Mongol riders used a composite bow constructed by laminating horn, wood, and sinew. This combination created a weapon with high tension and kinetic energy that remained compact enough to be fired efficiently from the back of a galloping horse. Combining a high-tension weapon with a self-sustaining mount created a cavalry force functioning in total synchronization. They could maintain deadly, continuous offensive firepower even while performing a full retreat. Genghis Khan's primary obstacle to using this cavalry effectively was the tradition of tribal loyalty. Warriors followed their own clan leaders, making it impossible to coordinate large-scale maneuvers across different groups. He solved this by restructuring society into a strict decimal system. He took men from rival tribes and mixed them into a squad of 10, called an arban. 10 arbans formed a company of 100, or a zun. 10 zuns made a regiment of 1,000, and 10 of those formed a division of 10,000, known as a tumen. This mathematical grid replaced tribal hierarchy with a meritocracy. Promotion was based on talent and results rather than birthright, ensuring that the most capable tacticians rose to command the largest units. This modular structure allowed for complex battlefield commands. Generals coordinated maneuvers across miles of terrain, using a system of colored flags and drumbeats, bypassing the need for verbal orders in the heat of combat. The resulting army functioned as a rigidly commanded, modular military force that operated with a level of coordination rarely seen in the medieval world. Coordinating this force required a constant flow of information. To manage his growing territory, the Khan established the yam, a continent-spanning network of relay stations placed roughly 20 to 30 miles apart. Messengers carried official passports, known as paisa, which guaranteed them access to fresh horses, food, and shelter at every station. This allowed riders to move day and night without stopping to rest their mounts. This network allowed a central command in Mongolia to coordinate troop movements in Eastern Europe and Northern China at the same time. Intelligence moved at roughly 200 miles a day, allowing the Mongols to analyze and react to threats significantly faster than an enemy could march. Despite their speed, the Mongols faced a major hurdle: walled cities. Nomadic cavalry traditionally struggled against stone fortifications because horses cannot climb ramparts, and nomadic logistics could rarely support a long, stationary siege. They solved this by capturing and drafting foreign specialists. Engineers, cartographers, and siege experts from China and the Middle East were integrated into the Mongol ranks and given the resources to build advanced weaponry. This capacity to rapidly identify, adopt, and scale new systems from other cultures allowed them to turn the world's most advanced siege technology against the very civilizations that had invented it. Combining extreme mobility, merit-based organization, and rapid communication allowed the Mongols to integrate vast, previously isolated territories into a single administrative system. Once the initial wave of conquest stopped, the Mongols were left with a perfect, terrifying machine that needed a new purpose. The military systems were repurposed for trade and diplomacy. The Yam relay network, originally built to move military orders, transformed into a secure logistical route for merchants and scholars traveling across the continent. The unified command structure enforced a period of stability known as the Pax Mongolica. By centralizing power and strictly enforcing the law, the Mongols created an environment where cross-continental travel became viable. Contemporary accounts suggest a merchant could walk from Italy to China with a gold plate on their head without fear of being robbed. The same discipline that made their army lethal now protected international trade. While the Mongol expansion was defined by widespread destruction, the logistical systems they left behind built the administrative foundations for a more connected world. If you're interested in more deep dives into the hidden systems and strategies that drive human history, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.